So today we are unboxing the NerdQaxe++. So this came from Power Mining, and if you want to get one of these, I'll leave it linked in the description from them. Big shout out to them because they did send it. And I haven't actually had a NerdQaxe before, so this is the first time that I've actually got one of these, and it's the latest version. So you can find them, I'll leave it linked in the description. You can go onto their Twitter as well just to see what they're selling. Lately they've been doing these smaller miners that we see here, but normally I think that they were doing kind of massive solutions for Bitcoin mining in terms of containers and stuff like that. But today we obviously have the NerdQaxe++, and we're going to unbox it today. So it came with two boxes that I received. So this is obviously, I'm assuming, the NerdQaxe, and then this is the power supply, but we have to actually replace this because we do not have EU plugs. So they actually sent me a DM on Twitter saying that they don't have a UK plug for it at the moment, but I'll leave a UK plug linked in the description if you guys want to get it from the UK. But this one is just a standard one, and all we need to do is actually buy the other end of the plug, which I'll show you in a minute if we open this up now. So you can see here we only need to buy this end of the plug, the one that plugs in there, because this is EU, but this is a standard plug format, I believe, and we can just plug that in to the power supply there. So we only have to get this one that we see here, and we're gonna actually get that, but it's probably going to be in this video as well. This is recorded a day before we've actually got that. So, and now for the reveal of the NerdQaxe. So this comes in this nice fancy box, and I believe that this is just kind of packaged. Let's do it, and let's move that a little bit. Okay, and this is what it looks like. So packaged like this. Obviously you can see the bottom and the top there. So let's actually take this out and we can actually see what it looks like. So we have it here, as you can see. This is what it looks like. I know that some of the NerdQaxes, they do actually come with a black board, but this is green. Just the LCD there, this fan and this massive heatsink, and then you can see the back. It's actually pretty simple on the back, more simple than the BitAxe even. So the heatsink's there, and then the chips are sitting underneath, if you can kind of see that down in there. And this is supposed to be a good fan as well. And then that's plugged into there, so you can add in another fan as well, I believe. And then the power supply's here, LCD, and that's the USB that you have there. So we are going to do a whole unboxing and setup guide. Obviously we're still waiting for the power supply cable to come in, and that's going to be coming very soon. So this is just the start of the video, and we'll probably have that in a couple of seconds, but for me it'll be a day. But I don't actually know how to set this up yet, so I still have to do some research on how to actually set it up. I'm assuming it's kind of the same as the BitAxe, but we'll have to see. So let's wait for the power supply, and we'll get into the setup right now. So we are back, and this is a day later, so we still have this here, and we do have the power supply if we move this here. So as you can see, you can actually order it. It's just any old, I think the technical term is clover leaf. That's what they're called in terms of the power supply. And this, if you look at the power supply here, we'll do a little bit more in depth as well. So the power is 120 watts, so up to 120 watts. I don't actually know how much this is going to pull fully, so we'll get it plugged in and test it out. And I'm assuming you do it the same as the BitAxe. So you kind of go through the IP address, and then it takes you to the NerdQaxe OS. Same sort of thing, and just plug it in, connect through to your computer, and then that's going to show up, I guess. So one thing about it that I've also learned as well is you can actually get these, and you can get a copper version of this and the heatsink. I don't know if we'll be doing that in the future. Today we're just kind of setting it up, unboxing it, kind of reviewing it. The screen's a little bit bigger, so the display is a little bit nicer, I'm assuming, than the BitAxe, because this is from a Nerd miner. I believe that's what the original display is for. And a little bit more about these. They have, so the NerdQaxe Plus, I believe, has the super chips, and these actually have the BM1370. So that's going to be the gamma chips, which means that they should be capable of whatever the gamma is times by 4, and that would mean it's around, as it says on the website, like 4.8 terahash, something like that. I also want to mention as well that you can get 10% off if you use the code linked in the description from Power Mining for these, and I believe you get 10% off the BitAxe as well, or any other solutions on their website, but I'm assuming that a lot of you are going to be either buying one of these or the BitAxe. The other ones are very massive hardware solutions. So now all we need to do is actually plug it in. So we're going to do that live. I'm going to actually stick it this way, maybe, hold on. And then we're going to plug it in and actually get it set up. So let's do that right now. So one thing before we actually plug it in is that I wanted to know, maybe you guys can let me know in the comments. I know they have stands for these, but I'm wondering if anyone's making custom stands for them. If not, I'm just going to make my own stand. And these are also 12 volt, I believe. If we look right now, yeah, so these are 12 volt and they're different to the BitAxe miners, which are 5 volt. But I have heard that a lot of the newer versions or the iterations, such as the Gamma, it might be switching over to 12 volt in the future. 5 volt was kind of like a temporary thing because a lot of systems will run on this 12 volt, and that's going to be coming in the future, I believe. So let's actually plug this in. This is the first time I've plugged it in, so we'll see if it whizzes up. Perfect. So there we go, NerdQaxe. Just zoom in on that. A little screen there, we'll bring it here. You can see the screen there. So retrieving the initial config. So we're going to go in and do that now, and then we're going to get it hooked up and start hashing away. But this display is really cool. So it's kind of like a, instead of the LCD that you have there, it's a fully fledged kind of screen that we have here with certain things, you know, like how to actually connect it to your phone. So that's actually good. And right now, I don't think it's actually hashing to anything, but we need to hit it up onto the phone. So the way that you do this is either if you're on a computer or on your phone, you can just go onto the Wi-Fi and it's actually going to display maybe NerdQaxe, you know, with some sort of letters or numbers after it. It will normally be this, whatever you see there that says NerdQaxe CEA5, whatever that is. And it's going to show up in your Wi-Fi system. Click into that and then you actually put in your own Wi-Fi address, and then it's going to connect it to the Wi-Fi. And that's when you can start adding in your own thing and you can get it up on the computer. Sorry, I was putting my hand that way because the computer is that way on the setup. So let's actually go in and do that, and then we'll come back once we've actually got it hashing to our preferred solo pool. So as you can see there, we've actually got it hashing. Currently, it's actually sitting at, if we zoom it in here, and we bring it down to here, it's only sitting at 568 gigahash. So I don't particularly know what's going on with it. It's fluctuating between that. Maybe it's just the overclocks is not set in or whatever. But if we try focus, I don't know if we can do that. We can't really focus it, but you can see if you zoom in enough and we bring it up to the screen, you can see that the IP address, cover it here, is right there. So you have the IP address at the top, BM1370, and then you have your best difficulty, uptime, temperature, RPM of the fan, overclocks here, down there, and then watts to terahash ratio, if we can get it to focus, is at the bottom there, 94, so by there. So let's actually bring it over to, let's get it into a more stable position, because then we can actually get it hashing away. But let's get it over onto the computer. Let's see what we can do with this. This is going to be one of the first videos on it. There's going to be loads more to come. But this is just going to be a testing out. As you can see, the actual hash rate is ramping up there. So maybe it's just taking time to ramp up and get used to the power supply and things like that. But let's monitor it on the computer and then we'll go through actually adding it into a pool. And then we'll kind of let you know what we're going to be doing with it in the future. So let's get onto the computer now. So we are back here on the NerdQaxe OS that we're seeing here. And this is kind of similar to, I'd say it's more similar to the older Axe OS that you used to have. But my theory was right about it having to start up, because you can see here, it takes a long while to start up. Normally the BitAxes, they start up and they have that hash rate there instantly. But this one took a little bit longer. I'm assuming because there's more chips on it, it kind of needs to configure itself and get up to speed on the frequency of each ASIC. So I don't know how this happens, but I'm assuming that it spins up each ASIC chip individually, and then that kind of accumulates together. So it'll spin up the first one, second one, third one, fourth one. But as you can see, it's advertised as 4.8 terahash, but we are currently at 5.1 and still climbing. It's kind of steadying out there, but still 5.1 terahash, so more than advised on the website. When we go over to settings, this is just what you have to do on your phone. So you're going to have your Wi-Fi SSID and your Wi-Fi password. If you want to actually learn how to do that yourself, there is tons of videos out there. It's the same process as setting up a BitAxe. It's just with a different website, I guess. And then this is where you put in your pool information. So you have a primary and you have a fallback one. So let's actually get our pool of choice here. So today we're using solo hash like we normally do for the BitAxes. Currently we actually haven't got anything online because we're working on a build to put all the BitAxes together. So this is the only thing that's actually mining currently. So we're actually going to put NerdQaxe on there just to identify it and kind of show that that's what's mining on there. Stratum and port, if we go back to solo hash here and click on get started, you can see the port is going to be the quadruple 3, and then the stratum is just this here. We're just going to put the password, I believe, if you just leave it at X, that actually selects the difficulty for you. So we'll see what it actually selects for us there. And all we have to do is click save and then restart it. So if we go into the dashboard here, let's just see kind of what the hash rate looks like after restarting. The fans did just blow up real quick then, kind of like the same with the BitAxe. But let's have a look here. So I don't think this is actually displaying it currently right now. Maybe you need to refresh the page just to get that to show. So it shows 0, but let's just go with the theory that it is going to start back up in a minute. I can't see that it's, if we go into system and we view the logs, we'll see what the difficulty selected was. So if we stop scrolling there, or start scrolling, there's a lot of setup actually going on in the background. So this is where I'm assuming that they are pulling each chip together and starting that back up. So I think it's going through it right there. So if we stop scrolling, it's only selected a difficulty of 1000, but we're hitting that pretty much instantly. So there's also different things in here with certain things like temperature. We don't normally see this on the BitAxe, and there's also things like, if we actually scroll it down to the bottom, let's just see how it's updating. History hash rate, history nonce distribution, ASIC 50 ASIC. So you can see it's a little bit different to what the BitAxe logs look like. And certain things like this, hash rate for 10 minutes that don't normally show up in the BitAxe logs. Temperatures on, I wonder if there's a temperature on each individual chip and that's how it's going off, like it's averaging them out and then that's how it's controlling the fan speed. Somebody will have to let me know in the comments because I actually don't know how that works. So you can see on the chart here, it just stopped and then we're going to be climbing back up. So with overclocking on this thing, we might be able to use the same BitAxe benchmark testing tool to do the overclocks. So frequency, I'm assuming this is setting it for each individual chip itself, and the core voltage, same thing goes. So they actually have a shutdown temperature on here, which I don't believe that they have on the BitAxe, but the rest of it is kind of the same. You have the version, updated firmware, updated website, and then you have your power. So input voltage, we're supposed to be around 12 there. And then you have your power, ASIC voltage, which is going to be whatever you set as the overclock. Then you have the ASIC temperature, so that's on the chips. I'm assuming that's divided by 4, like all put together divided by 4. fan speed, fan RPM, and VR temperature. So the VRs, or the voltage regulators, are actually above the chips. They're not on the back of the board. From what I can see, there's 3 of them on there. It looks to be 3 at least. And maybe we can stick heat sinks on them, so copper heat sinks on them as well. And then you have ASIC frequency, which is 600 and 1.14 volts for the ASIC voltage measured. So already we've got 216 shares. The efficiency isn't great because it obviously hasn't spun up to that 4 gigahash point. That is going to take quite a while, but best difficulty already is 4.06 million. And then if we go back on solo hash right here, so it's not actually updated quite yet. I don't know what the refresh time is on solo hash, but it should be soon. So you can already see the hash rate is climbing up here. And we might actually do, well, we're definitely going to do an overclocking video on this. We've got a lot of videos coming in the pipeline actually, but I do want to give a massive shout out to Power Mining for sending this across. So currently, as I said at the start of the video, they do power distribution mining components, air-cooled mining containers, so massive kind of units of Bitcoin mining. But they also have a small shop if you click in here. So they have BitAxe open source miners, and this includes the NerdQaxe++, and then I believe it also includes, if we, or it might be down here. If we click shop on the side, you can see that they have the Gamma or the NerdQaxe++. So you can pre-order those, but you can buy the Gamma for however much you want. And it's from 147 euros, which is actually a very cheap price for a Gamma currently. And as I said, if you do want to use the code in the description, if you check out here and you just input the code Sterling there. I don't think it has to be capitals, but just make sure. And that'll give you 10% off the price. So it was originally around 500 euros, now down to basically 450 euros. And I believe that you can also do this for the BitAxe Gamma as well. So massive shout out to them. If we just go back here, we can check kind of what the hash rate, it's still climbing up. So I would say from here, if we go, it's 10. And then at the end here, it is around 20. So it takes around 10 minutes overall for it to spin up from 0 all the way up to what the expected hash rate would be. So as I said, there's a lot of videos coming in the pipeline using this. And we might be upgrading it, but I still need to find a solution for the actual heatsink and the fan. I know that there's different iterations that we can go with. I've never actually used a NerdQaxe, so you're going to have to bear with me in terms of actually taking it apart. But there is going to be a teardown video, there's going to be an overclocking video, there's going to be a bunch of videos coming in the pipeline. We've also got a bunch of builds that we're doing. So we're doing a custom board build, and then we are checking out an Avalon Nano 3S, which we actually ordered ourselves, and that should be coming in a week or so. But if you want more videos like this and more videos on the NerdQaxe, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And when we hit in 10K, I know we're very close. We're going to be giving away a couple of BitAxes and a couple of other things as well. Make sure that you're subscribed, I guess, and following on X to be aware of when that actually goes live. So when we hit 10K, and then we'll give away some stuff. As I said, massive shout out to Power Mining. Link in the description if you want to go get one of these. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.